Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Focal on the FTOG server. I have some bad news. Unfortunately, all of the investors in Fractopia pulled out their funding, which means I now don't have the money to build any of the things I wanted to. They said I wasn't making enough progress, that my dreams were unrealistic. Well, I'll show them, won't I? Yes, I'll build something so magnificent they can't help but call me the greatest innovator ever. So, yeah, that's the lore reason for the plans change I'm about to tell you about. What am I doing? I should be using the wrench for this. So I've been doing some thinking about my lack of motivation and how we can revitalize this series, become interested in it again, and I've had a few thoughts. First off, I think one of the reasons I've been unmotivated, well, there's a couple. One, I don't do so well when I'm kind of just left to my own devices to figure out my own goals. So with the quests in this pack were put together fairly quickly, and they're not bad, they're actually pretty good. But the problem with them is it's very little quest line, and more it's laying out what you can do in the pack and then leaving you to chart your own path, which is great for some people, but I realized it's not amazing for me. So one, there's that. And two, the goal I did set to build a massive city was way too ambitious. So now I've decided that I'm going to condense a bit. Rather than building a huge city, I'm going to build a huge tower. And that tower is going to be right here by the rail line, because the train is going to run through the building. And that way, we don't have to rework any of the train line or anything, but I can still change my plans. So, yeah, that's the plan now, is we're going to build a tower. And I'm going to put it right here. But it's not going to be a little tower like the Fracture Co. building. No, no, no. It's going to be a 3-chunk by 3-chunk tower that contains everything I do in it. And I'm going to slowly move stuff like from the Stactory, from Fractopia Tower. I'm going to move it all slowly into this main tower. It's reminiscent of Factory in the Sky 4, where I did that whole compactness thing, but it's going to be a little bit more dramatic than that. And the lore, basically, is that the Fracture Co. CEO, who founded the company and came out here to build the city of today, he lost his funding, and now he has to change his plans because they didn't think he was doing enough progress. Which is also, I didn't think I was making enough progress. Like, this is episode 6, and we don't have a lot done. I mean, I have a little bit of a tower, but not a lot. So, let me give you a few details about this tower. So, first things, it's gonna be, as I said, 3 by 3 chunks. So, it's gonna be a little bigger than Fracture Tower by a factor of 9. Second, I'm gonna try and do it a little bit more asynchronous, if that's the right word. I'm gonna try and make it so that it's a little less symmetrical, a little more organic, little bit more mad scientist, mad inventor type thing. And I'm going to try and make it somewhat more reasonably laid out as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a balancing game of that tension between looking crazy, looking laid out like a psycho laid it out, but also having some sense to it. For example, this bottom floor here. this bottom floor is going to have, obviously, the train, right? And maybe some unloading stuff for that. But it's also going to have our lava pit, through which we can, or from which we can draw lava for basically the whole tower. And I'm gonna have kind of like a service conduit vertical tunnel that will lead all the way up through the tower. And we're gonna power everything with steam engines, because they're so much more efficient, as you've seen in Grok's videos lately, because you're watching Grok, of course, right? If you're not, what are you doing here? Yeah. And also, I'm not gonna make the mistake I did with the fracture tower of locking myself into a height at the beginning. I'm kind of just gonna keep building floors until I don't need any, or the series ends. And the thing about that is that in order to make it interesting, we're going to want to build as many floors above ground as we can. Just so we can have, like, things poking out of them and windows and stuff. Might build a basement, but the problem is, in the basement is where I need to put the lava pool. So, one of the people that has been very interested in trains has constructed a little tram running between a few of our bases, and it's neat. Like, you can hop in here, you can see where it's going, you can hop into a seat. This is pretty cool, actually. Though I have now realized I'm stuck in here until I get to the next person's base. But you can see on the minimap, it's just trolling along. I think it's like every 5 minutes or something it makes a circuit. But I'll just wanted to show this off because it's really cool. And I'll be back soon. I also wanted to show that off because if we're gonna be building a tower here, you're gonna see it coming through a lot. And I didn't want you to be very confused all the time. So I figured I would point it out when it came so you would know what it is, and then we can move on. But yeah. We're also gonna have to move this. I haven't decided if I'm gonna build like a rail junction inside the tower or outside of it. But this also does seem like it is a station. What station is it working for? Train signal. I don't know how the train signals work. But I guess it makes sure you can only go this way on the track? I'm gonna have to do some exploration. There's one over here, too. I think they just make the tracks one way so you don't accidentally get trains colliding with each other. So I'll have to work those into the base as well. But that's the current plan. Let me know in the comments what you think of this narrative pivot to a new, more manageable plan. Because as much as I've loved or want to build a city at some point, like, I've wanted to build a city in Minecraft for years. I've made mod packs with the intention of doing it. I've built buildings, I've planned super worlds, I've used editor tools to create full residential neighborhoods before. It's never really quite stuck for some reason. Just because, I don't know, it's too big and it gets in my head, I think. But for the most part, I would love to build a Minecraft city at some point, but I don't think I would be able to do it by myself. I think that would need a bunch of people all working together on a specific thing. But for now, we're gonna confine our efforts to Fracture Tower, or Fractopia. It's still gonna be called Fractopia, because the Mad Inventor's dream is still called Fractopia. But now it's just gonna be a crazy tower, in which everything gets done. But enough about our long-term plans. Let's talk about immediate plans a little bit more. Next week, or next weekend, perhaps more accurately, next Monday, is a holiday. Or, no, not next week, next Monday. A week Monday. Next week is a long weekend, and I'm going to be out of town. So, I'm not going to have time to work on enough progress to make that tower worth talking about next week. So, I'm actually thinking I'm going to do a special episode that's not Minecraft. I'm going to do a special episode showing you Trailmakers, the game I was telling you about last week that I've been absolutely addicted to. It's just going to be I'm going to hop into the campaign I've been doing, which I finished the main game campaign, and I'm now now working on the first of the DLC campaigns, which is the Space Voyager campaign. So I'm gonna do a little episode where I show you that, and maybe, if you like it, we'll do a longer series on Trailmakers in the future. So, if you're not subscribed already, subscribe for that. Because I think it's going to be really fun. I've really been enjoying the game. It's the right balance of grind and challenge and creativity that, honestly, I haven't found a lot in the past. And it's a game from 2019, so it's not that old, but it's also not that new. So it's solidly made. It's still being updated. They just released mechs, and I haven't gotten a chance to play with those yet, but I will eventually, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and get excited for next week. And just like that, I'm out of stuff to talk about regarding changes to the series and plans for the future. So we're down here now, so you can kind of see what the first floor will look like. I'm not entirely sure how tall the train station needs to be, but I heard somewhere, I have a memory of it being 10 blocks tall, so that's what big opening. I can always close it up later if I need to, but yeah, so there's going to be the trains, there's going to be platforms, I'll probably have a catwalk, or maybe something going under the trains, just because that's a little bit more reasonable, so then I don't have to make a huge layer. And then probably over here we'll have our lava pit, our infinite lava source. And then we'll have like a 5x5 maintenance shaft through which all of our rotational power, maybe our hyper tubes, because we're going to use hyper tubes to get around this tower. All of that will go. And I honestly am excited now. This is a bit more of a manageable project. I can build cobblestone farms to keep the walls powered up. I did decide to go with a bit of a darker color for the walls for this one because we're going for the inventor has lost his mind and is a little bit darker now. Nicely enough, it seems fairly level. I can level it out a little more. I'll need to move all the train signals and the station and all of that stuff, but I'm not going to do that until I know exactly where it's going to go, because I don't know if it's going to mess up the train schedule on that tram that's been going around. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. Shorter episode, more of a talker. Next week, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a episode on Trailmakers. And then hopefully the week after that, I'll have more progress done on this tower so you can kind of see the vision a little bit more. And everyone say RIP to Fractopia City, because Fractopia City is a dead dream that has been replaced by Fractopia, the tower. Also, look at this. Look at how many train lines people have run. It's crazy. It's like there's bases everywhere. And it's wild. Grok's up here. He's doing some really cool stuff. Go check him out. Trains. Trains are crazy. I've never understood them. They've never been my obsession, but they are cool if you do them right. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry for the more talky episode, but hopefully the next few will pick up. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, later.